Panthers, hola Panteras. This is my last video of the year, so I wanted to give you a tour of how my plants have been growing. Este es mi último video de año, así que quiero darle un recorrido por cómo han estado creciendo mis plantas. I've added more pictures on the tab Watch Mrs. McKay's Garden Grow. He agregado más fotos en la pestaña Mira cómo crece el jardín de la señora McKay. You can scroll down on the left side to see how the plants look each week. Puede desplazarse hacia abajo en el lado izquierdo para ver cómo se ven las plantas cada semana. Or watch each veggie grow on the photo gallery on the left. O vea cómo crece cada vegetal en la galería de fotos a la izquierda. The plants are getting bigger, but they still have a ways to go before we can harvest them. Las plantas se están haciendo más grandes, pero todavía tienen muchos caminos por recorrer antes de podemos cosecharlas. So here is a little tour of my vegetable garden. Así es un recorrido de mi jardín vegetal. These right here, all along here, are my squash. Estos son mis calabazas. Y enfrente son lechugas. And in front are my lettuces. They're getting nice and big. Está más grande. And in the corner are the Swiss chard. Aquí son las acelagas, lo siento. Y aquí son mis espinacas, my spinach. It didn't turn out as well as I had hoped. No está bueno que ya ojalá. And I have other vegetables in here. Here's my corn. Está mi maíz. The downside of having alpacas is they break into the garden and eat them. So that's what has happened to the tops of some of my corn. Mis animales de mi hermana come las maíz. Es muy triste. And over here are the carrots. They're getting big. Son mis zanahorias. And my beans, mis frijoles. This is the corn to replace some of the ones that the alpacas ate. And my cucumbers, mis pepinos. They also aren't doing as well as I had hoped. No está bueno que quiere. But with patience, you can see it is growing. Some are really successful, and some things aren't so successful. It's part of gardening. Algunas cosas son muy bueno y otros no son muy buenos. Es parte de la vida de la jardín. Summer is about to start and I still have a lot of work to do to take care of my plants. El verano está por comenzar y todavía tengo mucho trabajo por hacer para cuidar mis plantas. But I'm excited about all the yummy vegetables I get to eat and all the books I can read this summer. Pero estoy entusiasmado con todas las deliciosas verduras que puede comer y con todos los libros que puede leer este verano. And speaking of reading, I recently learned some good news. Even though the public libraries are closed, they're still going to have summer reading program. Multnomah County Library runs this event to encourage everyone to keep reading. Let me tell you all about it. Y hablando de lectura, recientemente aprendí algunas buenas noticias. Al parecer, de que las bibliotecas públicas están cerrados, todavía tendrán el programa de lectura de verano. Multnomah County Library organiza este evento para alentar a todos a seguir leyendo. Déjame contarte todo al respecto. Multnomah County Library has a summer reading program every year. The idea is simple. Read a book, record the minutes or number of books, get a prize. However, there are a few more details that I will be sharing with you today. Because of quarantine, it will look just a little bit different this year. Una vez que termine, se agregará una versión en español de esta presentación de diapositivas. Anytime you want to know more about this event or remember what was shared, you can come to regular library webpage under the Multnomah County Summer Reading Program tab, and that is right there. You can see this blown up a little bit, and it will have on it the logo for this year, and you click on that, it will take you to the Multnomah County Library link for that one. Over here is an ebook. This one gives you some tips on joining Libby and downloading it. You can download it from here. Also, if you want step-by-step how to check out an ebook, audiobook in the app, this is a different link that will explain each step to go through. On this page will also be the summer reading program slideshow that I'm showing you today, so you can come back, refresh your memory, and as soon as it's done, we'll be adding a Spanish version to this page of the same slideshow. Now here is a video explaining all the details. You can watch this video. It's made by a Multnomah County librarian to hear all the details on how this game works, and it will help you know all the ins and outs of this program. Also, anytime you see this dragon logo, you can click on that and it will take you to the Multnomah County Library Summer Reading website. It's updated sometimes on a daily basis, so they will put on there the most up-to-date information. The theme this year is Imagine Your Story, and Shu Long, the summer reading dragon, is here to help. Shu Long means good reader like a dragon. I know you are all Shu Longs. The focus this year is fairy tales, mythology, and fantasy. You will have to wait to record your reading until June 15th, but you can register for it today. Right here, you're going to, there it is, right there. Register here beginning June 1st. Since it's after June 1st, you can register. If you need a paper one, you can call this number and have it mailed to you, or you can check back here. And you can also click on any of these logo dragons and go to the Multnomah County Library page to see the most up-to-date information on how to get a paper one. Now, how to play. Here's how the program works. Each day, you're going to log into the online app, which explains on the website how to connect to that. And you are going to either record a book that you read or listened to, or any of the other fun activities listed on the game between June 15th and August 31st. Now, each time you log 15 days, and it doesn't have to be in a row, you can enter a drawing for prizes, which may include books and or coupons. Now, once you've read for 45 days, which is about a half a summer, so you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to read every day, you complete the game. You've completed the game. When that happens, you'll get a t-shirt while supplies last. So the faster you read, the faster you get your days done, the more chance of getting a t-shirt. Also, coupons for local entertainment and an entry in the grand prize drawing. Now let's talk about the prizes at the end. here are the runner-up prizes, and you can look at all of those and on your own time. I'll just point out that for K5, your choice is a Chromebook or birthday party package at Mad Science Portland. That will be also part of that drawing that you'll be entered in when you do your 45 days. Now, the grand prize. The grand prize is a complete technology package that includes a Chromebook, home printer, and a $250 Visa gift card. Or you can choose an Experience Portland Family Fun package with tickets to sporting events, museums, theater, music, and more. If you need some inspiration on what books to read, here are some book lists done by Multnomah County Library librarians, and you can look at the K2 books, just the kids in general, 3-5 books, and those 5th graders moving on to middle school, you might even want to check out the middle school or the teen books. Right here is also a link which I've put on the website. This takes you to all the questions you might have about joining ebooks on Libby, and this one walks you through checking out an ebook or an audiobook in the Libby app. This year, something new is Read for Life Adult Summer Reading Game. This year, the adults also get to join in. If you watch this video, it will give you all the details about what is going to be required and what the prizes for that also is. I hope you discover a whole bundle of new books this summer. Rewatch the slideshow anytime you want to check the details about this program. I will be adding photos of my garden throughout summer, so stop by my webpage ever so often to see how it's going. Agregaré fotos de mi jardín durante todo el verano, así que visite mi página de vez en cuando para ver cómo va. Have a great summer full of books and fun. Tengo un gran verano llena de libros y diversión. Adiós. Goodbye.
All right, so I want this half to beatbox, this half to say the words, okay? All right, okay? Beatboxes, get your beatboxes ready. All right, here we go. Ready, set, here we go.
6 little ducks that I once knew, fat one, skinny one, fair one too. But the one little duck with the feather on his back, he led the others with a quack, 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 quack. He led the others with a quack, quack, quack.
Hi regular families, this is Ethan. I'm here today to read a book to you. It is a book that Miriam and I were hoping to read in the classrooms together because it's both in English and Spanish. But I'll be reading the English version for you today. This is called Pepita Talks Twice. It is by Ophelia Latchman and illustrated by Alex DeLance. So it's a really good book. I hope you enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to read it for you. So this, that is Lobo. That is her dog. And I have a dog too. That's why I kind of like this book. My dog's a little bit smaller and blonde. I might show him later if I can get him to come in the room. But here we go. So I'm going to try to show you the pictures as well and talk about that, but I'll try to show you the text so you can kind of read along with me. There we go. Pepita was a little girl who spoke Spanish and English. Come, Pita, Please help us, people would say. Everybody called on Pepita to talk for them in Spanish and English. And she did what they asked without a grumble until today. Today, she didn't want to help anyone. She wanted to get home before her brother Juan. She wanted to teach their dog Lobo a new trick. She wanted to teach him to fetch a ball. But if she didn't hurry, Juan would teach Lobo first. And I know that is. Sometimes we want to do something and you just want to get there right away and the people hold you up. It can be kind of frustrating. And this picture I like about it is it's got a lunch pail. I used to have a lunch pail when I went to school. And you can tell she's in a hurry because her bag's going behind her and her hair's flowing in the wind. And she's looking behind to make sure no one's going to ask her a question. But it looks like she's running. So it's a really well drawn picture. Okay. Pepita raced by the grocery store that belonged to Mr. Hobbs, but not fast enough. Pepita, Mr. Hobbs called. Come speak to this lady in Spanish. Tell me what she wants. Pepita did what Mr. Hobbs asked, but deep inside of her a grumble began. She tiptoed by the house where her Aunt Rosa lived, but not softly enough. Pepita, her aunt called in Spanish. Come talk to the delivery man in English. Tell me what he wants. Pepita did what Aunt Rosa asked, but deep inside of her grumble grew. And you can see in the picture here, there's Mr. Hobbs and there's her aunt. Her aunt's talking to the delivery guy. And there's Mr. Hobbs, the grocery store person. He's trying to help this young woman here. And there's Pepita who's trying to help out. And you can see all the things he sells. He's got apples and bananas and oranges. And he's got some salsa. And he's got some sausages, a piñata. I love going shopping. She ducked behind the fence as she went by her neighbor's house, but not low enough. Pepita, Miguel called and said in Spanish, My mother wants you to talk on the telephone in English. Please tell her what the man wants. Pepita did what Miguel asked, but deep inside of her the grumble grew larger. And when she went into her own yard and found her brother Juan teaching Lobo to return a ball, the grumble grew so big that it had exploded. If I didn't speak Spanish and English, she burst out, I would have been here first. There she is trying to sneak past the house. There's a little kitty cat. A couple times when I was younger, I came home late because I love petting cats. I don't know why. Cats are the cutest things in the world. And I would get distracted because I want to pet the cats. That night, as Pepita lay in bed, she thought and thought. By morning, she had decided... By morning, she had decided that she would do what she would do. She slipped out of bed and tiptoed by Lobo, who was sleeping on the floor. She hurried into the kitchen where her mother was cooking breakfast, and Juan was eating. I am never, ever going to speak Spanish anymore, Pepita said loudly. That's pretty dumb, Juan said. My, oh my, Pepita, why? Her mother asked. Because I'm tired of talking twice. Twice? Her mother asked. Yes, once in Spanish and once in English. So I'm never going to speak Spanish anymore. That's a pretty big decision. We'll see what happens. Personally, I wish I spoke two languages as well as Pepita did. There you can see her house. There's her mom making breakfast. There's her brother. Got some fruit out, some milk. It looks like a really well-balanced breakfast that they're having. And there's a little ball down there. Cart. There's Lobo's bowl. I don't see Lobo anywhere though. Okay. Juan took a bite of tortilla and grinned. How will you ask for enchiladas and tamales and tacos with salsa? He asked. They are all Spanish words, you know. I will find a way, Pepita said with a frown. She hadn't thought about that before. After breakfast, Pepita kissed her mother, picked up her lunchbox, and started to school. Outside, she put her lunchbox down and closed the gate to the fence, but not tight enough. Lobo pushed the gate open and followed at her heels. Wolf, Pepita scolded, go home. But Lobo just wagged his tail and followed her to the corner. Now remember, her dog's name is Lobo, not Wolf. That might be important. We'll see. There she is, getting ready to go to school with her bags, books, lunchbox. There's Lobo. We finally get to see Lobo again. There he is, coming out to follow her to school. Mr. Jones, Pepita said to the crossing guard, will you please keep Wolf for me? If I take him back home, I'll be late for school. I'll walk him home when I'm through, Mr. Jones said, but I thought his name was Lobo. No, Pepita said. His name is Wolf now. I don't speak Spanish anymore. That's too bad, Mr. Jones said Mr. Jones, picking up his red stop sign. I thought it was a good thing to speak two languages. It's not a good thing at all, Mr. Jones. Not when you have to speak twice. Yeah, I think Mr. Jones has the right idea. Speaking another language can be really important. There he is with his stop sign. Got his orange vest to make sure he's being well seen by people. There's Lobo hiding there. Oh, squirrels. See, if my dog was Lobo and he saw a squirrel, he wouldn't be right there. He'd be trying to chase the squirrels. Looks like she made it to school. See how that goes for her. Okay. At school, her teacher, Miss Garcia, smiled and said, we have a new student starting today. Her name is Carmen, and she speaks no English. We must all be as helpful as we can. Miss Garcia looked at Pepita and said, Pepita, please tell Carmen where to put her lunch and show her where everything is. Carmen smiled at Pepita, and Pepita just wanted to run away and hide. Instead, she stood up and said, I'm sorry, Miss Garcia, but I can't. I don't speak Spanish anymore. That is really too bad, her teacher said. It's such a wonderful thing to speak two languages. Pepita mumbled to herself. It is not a wonderful thing at all. Not when you have to speak twice. Yeah, I can see how that can be difficult. Having to do things two times seems like it's a lot of hard work. But a lot of people are benefiting from her being able to speak two languages, huh? There's her teacher. There's the new student. There she is. I bet we can relate to this. Sometimes we've had people like that in our schools, huh? Where someone comes in, they don't speak English or they don't speak Spanish, and we have to try to help them. She's missing a great opportunity, don't you think? When Pepita walked into her yard after school, she found Lobo sleeping on the front porch. Wolf, come here, she called. Wolf, wake up. But he didn't open an eye or even wiggle an ear. From the sidewalk behind her, Juan shouted, "Lobo! Ven acá! Ven acá!" Like a streak, Lobo raced to the gate and barked. Juan laughed and said, "Hey, Pepita, how are you going to teach old Lobo tricks if you don't speak Spanish?" "I'll find a way," Pepita said with a frown. She had not thought about that either. And you can see there's Lobo playing with her brother, not with her, because she can't say his name anymore because she doesn't speak Spanish. Kind of sad. Pepita's neighbor Miguel was on the sidewalk bouncing a rubber ball. His brothers and sisters were sitting on their front porch singing. When they saw her, they called, "Come, Pepita, sing with us." "I can't," she called. "All of your songs are in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish anymore." "Too bad," they said. "How will you help us sing at the birthday parties?" "I'll find a way," Pepita said with a frown. This was something else she had not thought about. She's missing out on some fun again because she doesn't want to speak Spanish. It's kind of sad. I wonder if she's thinking more about her choices right now. They sure do look like they're having fun though. Pepita's neighbor Miguel was on the sidewalk balancing a rubber ball. Sorry, forgot to turn the page. At the supper table, Pepita's mother told everyone that Abuelita, their grandmother, was coming the next day. Abuelita says she has a new story for Pepita. Juan laughed. "Abuelita tells her stories in Spanish. What are you going to do now?" "Nothing," Pepita said. "I can listen in Spanish." "¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa?" Pepita's father said. "What is going on?" Pepita swallowed hard. "I don't speak Spanish anymore, Papa," she said. "Too bad," her father said. "It's a fine thing to know 2 languages." "It's not a fine thing at all," Pepita said, then stopped. Her father was frowning at her. I could see how that'd be a little disappointing. When I was growing up, my father actually spoke German, and he didn't want us to learn German because he didn't think we should. And it was sad because sometimes he would talk to his friends in German and I wouldn't know what they were saying, and I really wanted to learn the other language. Really wish I could speak 2 languages. It's important to be able to speak languages, especially if you have other people in your family that are from other cultures, and knowing that language is really helpful. She even calls Lobo Wolf, Juan said. "Wolf," her father said, and his frown grew deeper. "Well then, Pepita, we'll have to find a new name for you, won't we? How will you answer to Pepita if that's no longer your name?" "I'll find a way," Pepita said, with a long, sad sigh. This was something she had never thought about before. Yeah, there's a lot of consequences coming up for her not speaking her language. Mom and Dad look kind of sad and disappointed in her. Really hope she changes her mind. That night, when she went to bed, Pepita pulled the blankets up to her chin and made a stubborn face. "I'll find a way," she thought. "If I have to, I can call myself Pete. I can listen in Spanish. I can hum with the singing. I can call a taco a crispy, crunchy, fold-over, round corn sandwich. And Wolf will have to learn his name." With that, she turned over and went to sleep. She had a pretty busy day with her new choices about not wanting to speak 2 languages. She came up with some good ideas, though. We'll see what happens. In the morning, when Pepita was leaving for school, her friend Miguel threw his ball into her yard. Lobo fetched it and dropped it at Pepita's feet. "You're a good dog, Wolf," she said. She put her lunchbox down and threw the ball back to Miguel. The little boy laughed and clapped his hands. Just as she was opening the gate, he threw the ball again. This time it went into the street. Like a flash, Lobo ran after it. "Wolf!" Pepita yelled. But Lobo didn't listen and went through the gate. "Wolf, come here!" Pepita shouted. But Lobo darted right into the street. A car was coming. Yeah, that's really scary. There's a dog chasing the ball and the car's right there and she's running frantically after him to try to get him to stop. I don't think Lobo had a chance to learn a new name. Oh, I hope it turns out okay. Pepita closed her eyes. "Lobo!" she screamed. "Lobo! Ven acá!" Lobo turned back just before a loud screech of the car's brakes. Pepita opened her eyes, and in time to see the ball roll to the other side of the street, a red-faced man shouted out the window of the car, and Lobo raced back into the yard. Pepita shut the gate firmly behind Lobo and hugged him. "Lobo, oh Lobo, you come," when I called in Spanish. She nuzzled her face in his warm fur. "I'll never call you Wolf again," she said. "Your name is Lobo, just like mine is Pepita. And, oh Lobo, I'm glad I talked twice. It's great to speak 2 languages." I'm glad that worked out. It was a little scary there for a little bit with that car coming on. I was really worried. But see how she learned a very valuable lesson that's it's really good to speak 2 languages. You may not always need it, and it may get frustrating at times because you are helping other people out. But sometimes it's really important that you can speak the second language. I hope you enjoyed this book. I can't wait to see everybody in person when we get back to school. Until then, keep reading, keep learning. We miss you, and see you soon.